Hey guys, welcome back to Honeycomb. My name is Keo, and today we're gonna do another episode of Exploded and Compressed, where we take a coffee, expand it out during the pour over process, taste it, and then compare it to the espresso shot of the same coffee. And today we are doing a coffee called the CALIKIng from Benguet in the Philippines. Now, if you're not yet subscribed to our YouTube page, please do subscribe. It goes a long way for us. Just click that little subscribe button and the notification bell if you can. It goes a long way for us. And follow along on Instagram. I'm at KO Kosha on Instagram. Follow at Daily Drink Mag on Instagram. And follow at Honeycomb Manila, our studio here in Double Dragon Plaza. All right, so this coffee is produced by a company called Kalsada. Now, Kalsada is a coffee producer primarily in Benguet, Philippines. And we have tasted their coffee before, but this time it's a little bit different because it's not roasted by them. It's roasted by a different roaster. In this case, it's Plainsight Coffee Company, which is a roaster out of Mandaluyong. We always enjoy their coffees. This coffee is a origin that I've not tasted before. It's from Benguet, a washed process. Tasting notes here are chocolate, rice tea, orange peel, and vanilla. Roast profile is like a light medium roast. This was roasted about a week ago, about 8 days ago. So it'll be interesting for us to taste this. I haven't tasted it before. Let's get into it. I've heated up our brewing receptacles and I'm gonna pour these out now that we have hot cups to brew into. So just for a little bit of refresher, we're putting 60 ml in each cup of coffee in about 50 seconds. We're gonna move from cup to cup and taste the different flavors that come out during different points in the brew process. Let's get to it. Water is at 96 degrees. Tear the scale and start timer. This coffee isn't really blooming, so I'm just going to go ahead and put in all 60 ml. We'll let that drip down. Traditionally, this cup absorbs all of the water, so we're gonna get a very dense first cup, and usually that means that there'll also be less liquid than in the other 3 cups. So we are coming up now on 50 seconds. When this gets to 50, I'm gonna move it to the next cup. All right, on second cup, we're gonna add another 60 ml of water to bring up our total weight to 120. All right, so the next 50 seconds will bring us up to 1 minute and 40 seconds. So when this gets to 1 minute 40 seconds, we'll move to cup number 3. Don't forget to tear the scale, and we'll go up to 60 ml on this cup. This will go down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, we can move it to the last cup and add the last 60 ml of water. 2 minutes 30 and the last 60 ml of water to bring us up to 120. And that's a total weight of 240 ml. So we put 16 grams of coffee in, 240 ml. It's about 15:1 ratio. We'll let that drip down, and when this gets to 3 minutes and 20 seconds, we're actually gonna pull it off of the cup just so that we have the same amount of time per cup. 3 minutes 20, and we're gonna move it to our waiting carafe. If there's something that we feel like we didn't get in this last cup, we can still taste that just to check. All right, so here are our 4 cups of coffee. Let's taste them. Cup number 1, this was the first 60 ml in the first 50 seconds. Give it a whiff. Intense. I can get some of that chocolate note already. There's some acidity, and you can see it's a very dark color. Very deep, dark, winey color. And you can see even with just swirling it that the consistency is going to be thick. Let's sip it. Woo! That's a lot. That's a lot of flavor. You definitely have like a chocolate bar, not like a tablé or anything. It's like one of those, like, you ever have one of those like 50-60% cocoa chocolate bars? It's like that. Followed up with some citrus. I think they said it was an orange peel. I can definitely taste that. Cup number 2, this is the second 50 seconds. So you ever have one of those little rice cakes, like these little Japanese snacks or in these little packets? It kind of has that note. I think that that might be what they may be referring to as rice tea. But as it's aerated, you definitely taste that. It's opening up. I wouldn't say it's the clearest of flavors. It's like a medium clarity, but it's definitely there. Third cup, much lighter than the other two. So this is from 121 ml to 180 ml. There's a spiciness to it, not quite like a cinnamon spice, but there's definitely a spiciness to the aroma on this third cup. There's a very pleasant mandarin orange citrus, but the flavor is starting to taper off. But I will say this is the sweetest of the 3 cups so far. So you might still want to have some of that sweetness. Fourth cup, last 50 ml. The chocolate's back, and this time it's like a milk chocolate. Sweet, some of that orange flavor. It's pretty delicious. This is a pretty good cup of coffee. Not super complex. These are flavors that we're generally expecting from a very cleanly processed coffee. It is high clarity, can't really taste any defect in this coffee. Let's try it kind of wet blended together, and I'll mix the cups into one, and let's find out what this coffee kind of tastes like when it's all together. I know it's not exactly the same, but this will give us a good idea. It's actually becoming more difficult to decipher the different chocolates, but the orange is a lot more present now. It's like a mandarin orange, like a little bit of a watery orange. That rice cake flavor definitely has moved into a rice tea kind of flavor, and it's all in the finish. Like it's what you're breathing in after you've finished swallowing the coffee. That's super interesting, which means it'll be super interesting as a espresso, because I usually don't see that this kind of flavor palette translates really well to espresso, but it's only one way to find out. Let's brew it as espresso. That was a pretty perfect shot. All right, so we put 18 grams in and got 40 grams out, which is about 1:2.1 ratio, but you can see that there's more crema than we usually get in our exploded and compressed episodes. Let's see what the coffee tastes like. And give it a little stir. This is a really good espresso. I think I may have gotten that wrong. This might taste better as espresso. All the flavors line up almost exactly the same, but the compression, the density has really come in. I still wouldn't say that this is a high clarity coffee, but you are getting those multiple chocolate notes and the orange citrus there as well. If I'm honest, I wasn't too fond of the rice cake flavor, and I don't really taste it in this particular cup. There is some semblance of florality right inside there, which is kind of where you get those like tea-like notes. It's not as pronounced as with the pour over. And yeah, it's very rare that you get a coffee that's like a light medium roast that would come out with a very, very pleasurable espresso like this. And I'm super liking that. So that was the CALIKIng from Benguet, produced by Kalsada Coffee and roasted by Plainsight Coffee Roasters in Mandaluyong. Fully Filipino coffee. That's pretty great. Now all we need is some farm fresh Filipino milk. Turn this into a latte. I think this would be a really good latte. Do you have any questions? I'd love to answer them for you. Oh, first, make sure that you do follow Kalsada and Plainsight on Instagram. I'm sure they'd like that. And they're both doing really good work here in the Philippines and with Filipino coffee. But yeah, you can also follow me on Instagram. I'm at Keo Kosho. Follow at Daily Drink Mag as well. And this is our studio, Honeycomb Manila in Pasay City, the Philippines. So yeah, really good to have a good Filipino coffee here. Subscribe if you are enjoying our content, and if you want to see more Filipino content, please do leave a comment and say that you appreciate it, and we'll do more. All right, I wish you guys good luck. I wish you guys good health. I wish you guys great coffee. Peace.